Hello everybody, how's it going? Kansas State versus Florida Atlantic. It's a big one. It's the first game that starts the Final Four region action today. I think it's going to be a good one, honestly. History is going to be made either way with who's there because I don't think Kansas State has gotten to a Final Four. I know FAU, this is their first time ever being in the Elite Eight, so it'll be their first time if they're to win. And I think Kansas State, the last time they got there, they lost to either Michigan or Villanova back in 2018. Well, let's look at the teams and how we got here. Kansas State, they had an overtime thriller against the Spartans and an all-time Sweet 16 classic game. It was so fun to watch. The intensity, the matchup between the two teams are both evenly matched. It was fun. It was great college basketball. Florida Atlantic, defensive stump, low scoring W against the Volunteers. What a ride it's been for them so far in the bracket. Upset after upset. They beat Memphis, which I thought Memphis was going to roll them, but hey, they're on a roll right now. They're rolling into this region title game as the underdog. Here's how I think FAU can win the ball game. They got to shut down Marquise Noel. Dude had a double-double. He set a tournament record, for heaven's sakes, so they got to limit his scoring abilities. They got to limit his assists. If they shut down him, hey, it's anybody's game. Other points including disrupting the chemistry between the big two, between Johnson and Noel. If they can disrupt what's going on between them, the passes, get some turnovers here and there. It's going to be a long day for the Wildcats. Rebounds were a big factor in that Volunteer game. So if they're able to win the rebound boards, they're going to win the ball game. Limit the turnovers. They had 12 turnovers against the Volunteers. So if they're able to keep the ball in their possession and not have silly turnovers like the Michigan State game, that game ended on a Marquise Noel turnover right there at the end in clutch time. So if they're able to limit those turnovers, they could potentially win this game. If things get crazy for the starters, I think another thing that they could rely on is their bench. When I looked at the stats from their last game against the Volunteers, one of their players that had the biggest impact coming off the bench with the most points and the most minutes was Forrest. So if they got to rely on him sometime early in the second half or late in the first because they're down at some point, look to Forrest, man. He could potentially help them out of a slump if they're down early. Now looking at the Kansas State side, this is how I think they could win. They got to limit the fouls. They had 24 fouls against the Spartans, 24-16 somehow. They were able to win that game. They fouled way too much against Sparty, so they got to work on that and make sure that they can keep them hands to themselves and get clean blocks at the rim and not have stupid little tech fouls. Let the stars cook, for lack of a better term, but trust in Marquise. Trust in Johnson. Trust that, the big three tandem also with Tomlin, that their chemistry is going to mesh well together and they'll be able to spread the ball out, share the love, get some points, shoot some threes, whatever's required for them to win. It's the playmaking ability of these big players that got them there, so there's no reason to try to take away that game plan and get rid of it. They got to trust these guys. More rebounds. They were out-rebounded by the Spartans 31-37, so I could see that being a little key factor. Not a really big one, but they got to work on the boards. FAU, I'm just going to say it right now, FAU, because of how they played against Tennessee, the Owls are going to out-rebound the Cats. Lastly, I also said it with FAU, you got to rely on the bench. I've said it with a lot of these teams, but every player is important in these matchups, especially how tight that they can be. The bench in the last game had 26 points together. And so, Johnson isn't having the best game, or Tomlin, or, Noel. If Noel's quiet and he only has like 12 points in the whole game, the bench needs to step up and be that key contributor and be like, nope, we're going to hang in this game. So I gave my thoughts on how I think both teams could win. Personally, in just my opinion, I'm going to say just with the momentum of how they beat Michigan State and how they are the hottest team in the tournament right now, and they're so much fun to watch with just the chemistry with all the star players, the coach, and how fun it's been and what a wild ride. I'm going to pick the Wildcats making a Final Four appearance. I think they're the hot team right now. I think it'd be so much fun to see them play UConn or Gonzaga in the final. Man, that'd be way fun. But so for my pick, I'm going to pick it safe. I'm going to pick the lower seed Wildcats, man. I'm going to roll with them. I don't know what the score might be. I could see this getting ugly really quick, maybe just with the momentum. I don't see it like a high blowout game, how the UConn game was the other day or the Miami game, like a 80-50 kind of game. No, I don't think it's going to be that. I think the Owls can hang. I'm going to say maybe like a low 70s kind of game, like a 70-65 kind of game. But yeah, I'm going to pick Kansas State to move on to the Final Four. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.